Hey guys, welcome to Total Tech, where we provide training to the plumbing, HVAC, and electrical fields. I'm David Allen, and today you're getting a tour of our facility. Okay guys, so here we are in the electrical classroom. Now something unique to Total Tech as a whole is that we have an 80-20 split on our instruction. And what that means is we only spend 20% of the time here in the classroom. And so for electrical, that's going to be the physics and science of electricity, the basic electrical engineering, if you will. So let's go ahead and take a look at the lab and find out how we're going to spend the next 80% of our time. Okay, so as the students make their way into the lab, the first thing they're going to encounter are these mobile trainers. And these things are great because you can wire them up, put the electrical circuits in with the panels, the breakers, and all the electrical devices, and make this thing fire up and run essentially. And so when the power comes on, the lights are working, they know that they've completed the job, and it starts to build their confidence. Now, to do that, we have to have a ton of components for them to work with. So all the wires, all the electrical devices, everything that they might need to do this multiple times is all found here. And of course, we have to have amazing tools. Everything from the basic hand tool to something very unique that they'll use out in the field, like a thermal imaging gun, can all be found right here at Total Tech. Now the knowledge begins to build on itself, and they're gaining confidence as they go as we move into our 16-room trainer home. And this thing is great because it houses every possible service call that they'll ever see in the electrical industry. Right? It's going to help them build confidence to diagnose those problems with our unique 4-step electrical diagnostic process, and then they're going to be able to make some installations and make some repairs to really build upon that and become great at what they do. Now all of our students are going to get the opportunity to install a brand new service entrance. Now we're going to shift from that incoming power and go into alternate power, talking about generators and solar. And then of course we're going to have a transfer switch to make all of that happen. And that's really cool. But the coolest thing that Total Tech does is having one-off diagnostic trainers. And so incorporated in this, we have the ability to, by the push of a button, cause the system to malfunction in all the ways that it normally would out there in the field that prepares that student for anything that they may encounter. And that's something you won't get anywhere but Total Tech. All right, here we are in the plumbing classroom. And if you haven't noticed already, we're pretty excited about diagnostics and how we can show that to the student to make sure that they're ready for any type of failure they're going to encounter out there in the field. So things like electric water heater failures, where the high limit's tripping or the elements grounding, we can show that. Things that are happening with the toilet, whether it be a flap or a fill valve or supply line, all that can be shown and give them the right protocol to handle the situation. And then things like water quality are a great subject for us to cover here. So as students make their way into the lab, they're first going to encounter 8 individual trainer homes. Now these are fully functioning systems. All the water supply and DWV that they need, all the fixtures they need to get familiar with, and even a working gas system. Now this is going to be a focus on diagnostics, of course, but we're also going to work on the installation and repair side of things for all of those systems. Now something we use to really help them kind of tie that thread in from the physics and science of the classroom into the application of the lab is going to be trainers like this water supply wall that we have here, where we can manipulate the volume and pressures through a series of valves and connections, pipe size, everything that you need right here to make that connection. Here we have 8 gas water heaters that all have failures, whether it be spark or fuel or airflow issues. The students will get to diagnose those. And we also have a really cool venting trainer here. And so we can see how the DWV system will fail if we don't have the right venting. Now last but not least, we have our stage trainer. And really anything that we want to show diagnostic-wise, we can do that. One thing we'll focus in on is that underneath here, we have hundreds of feet of piping, both for water and gas supply systems. And so what this is going to do is it's going to represent a problem that we need to fix out there in the field and how these systems fail. And so we can show that physically right here on the unit. But the students will also get the opportunity not to just see that physically, but to see it through data that we're pulling through scientific measurements. And they'll be able to understand that, okay, this is showing us how systems fail as well. And we'll also teach them how to do that in the field each and every time. Our HVAC service class is broken down into 3 easy categories: electrical, mechanical, and airflow. Now what's unique about this classroom and every other Total Tech classroom that's here is that we avoid kind of that traditional method of learning. What that means for Total Tech is we bring the lab into the classroom. All of the mobile trainers and the components and the specialized tools end up right here in the classroom for the learning environment. And what that kind of produces is the greatest retention of information in the shortest format possible. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. Why not build a lab totally dedicated to diagnostics only? Well, we thought of that too. Here we have 8 trainer homes that are all designed to produce about 60 different service call scenarios. Everything from bad filter dryers to bad compressors or flooding TXVs and much, much more. Now the students are learning our proprietary process that's going to help them to diagnose all of these issues in, let's say, under 20 minutes, and just by grabbing a few pieces of information. Now, a couple of the ways that we're able to make all this happen is 1, having a great team that can build these things, but 2, we can control the climate of this room and the outdoor unit. And so we can really simulate anything from the worst winter conditions to the worst summer. In this HVAC lab, we're really focused on electrical, though that's not the only thing we can accomplish here. Now we have a real sophisticated unit here. We've cut it away, made it specialized, so we can create that visibility the students need to build confidence. And that confidence comes through repetition as well. And so a few of the tasks that they'll be required to do is to rewire the entire unit and practice over and over again until they get it, our 4-step electrical diagnostic process. So there's no doubt the things that we do at Total Tech are great, but what really makes us amazing is how we do it. Let's take the HVAC install class for an example. The students are going to come in and gain confidence by replacing these units multiple times. But it's really all about the proprietary processes that they're going to leave with, that were taught by world-class instructors, that's going to make any Total Tech graduate an asset. All right, friends, well, that's the end of our tour, and I hope you enjoyed your inside look to the best technical trade school in the country. Now, if you'd like to take a personal tour or sign up for a class, go ahead and reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you.